A special council meeting, public comments are limited to only the topics on this agenda. The agenda is missing, I apologize. The village solicitor will stop any questions that fall outside the scope of the agenda. Please, the village of Cleves values community input and encourages participation. While we welcome passionate viewpoints, we ask that all comments remain respectful and free of disruptive behavior. Our goal is to maintain a constructive and professional environment. Thank you for your cooperation. Are there any members of the audience that maybe watched the last meeting that want to comment on any of the ordinances that we did on the first meeting? If you do, I would ask that you establish yourself as you don't have to give your address because we're going live, but if you would establish who you are and that you are a resident of the village, I'd appreciate it. You want to come forward, please? Would you state your name for the record? And Penny, you'll get this into the minutes, please.
Andrew Nixon. I'll be the first to admit, when Cleves police went away the first time, I didn't think it was a big deal. Now that they've been gone, you can see the effect. I mean, we need the police back. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else want to make a comment? Go ahead. I'm going to come forward, please, and state your name. You are a Cleves resident, correct? Okay.
That doesn't need to be in the minutes.
I believe that it is in the best interest of every resident of the village of Cleves to have safe and maintained environments. Having a small Cleves police department who will work together with the sheriff's department is crucial for our village. It will give the village the ability to enforce ordinances that were passed by the Cleves Council, which is imperative to ensure that each and every resident of our village has a safe and maintained community to live in.
You're good.
Thank you.
But if you want to speak from there?
Okay. I want to say one thing. I was not for to get rid of the police. But I don't have anything against the county. But we have local ordinances that they won't do nothing about. There was a guy shooting in his yard up there. It shut down the estate and everything. Come find out there was no record of it even happened. My wife at midnight one night, there was a fight across the street from my house, and she called the non-emergency number, which is down here. She waited on the porch for a half hour. Never showed. And 45 minutes later, they rode by and never even looked. There was no record of it even happened. I'm just saying that what Chuck and Justin's trying to do is put something together that they're able to enforce the ordinances that we have, because the county won't. And that's just the way that's come from upstairs. They don't, our ordinances mean absolutely nothing else. And I just think that having them there, having the faces that you can walk up and talk to, I knew every police, they've been in my house the whole night. No, I've never ever met one of the county police officers. But I'm just saying, I'm for what you're trying to do, and I think it'll be a good deal. I really do. That's my opinion.
Would you state your name for the record?
Lucky he.
Thank you very much. Everybody knows you, Deb.
I also would very much like our ordinance. And since the county can't really maybe do that, then we need our ordinance for it. I almost got hit by somebody on a bicycle the other day. And my son said we needed to go back. It's to get all the kids off the bicycles off the sidewalk. So I was on the sidewalk, by the way. So we really do need our ordinance for it, because just have to have somebody that will and know how to enforce it. That's all.
I do have one other thing. The people that, like, with their grass too high, their buildings are falling down, they don't care, because we have nobody to enforce it. They know that we don't have anybody to do it. The county's not gonna do it. You know, they know that. So what I'm saying is, at least we have somebody that knocks on the door and say, hey, you need to cut your grass. If you don't, in a timely manner, we have a mayor's court again, which is beneficial to the village. And I just think it's a good deal all the way around.
Only thing I'm gonna correct there, because of the mayor's court, we don't have that. just-
Okay, I'm just,
We have a problem.
okay. I'm just saying, I remember when there was mayor's court, and it was a good thing.
Thank you. Yes, you will just state your name, please.
My name is Dakota Jennings. I'm a resident of Cleves and that's daughter-in-law. I feel that like getting the police department back would be very beneficial. Like others have stated, we have people that have dogs running around without leashes on, terrorizing other people's dogs. We just had a dog that lives down the street from us, or across the street from us, that went and terrorized somebody else's dog. They got in a fight with each other. Nobody's taking care of their animals. They're not taking care of their properties. They're not taking care of their yard. It's in kind of a danger to the community, honestly, and they don't care about enforcing this because it doesn't bother them. It's not a part for them to worry about. So we
Who are
do.
you referring to?
The Hamilton County, it's not their ordinances to enforce, so they don't feel that they need to enforce it. I mean, there's plenty of things that need to be enforced. I mean, we have ordinances, they're just not being enforced, and I feel like having the police department would really help that, because we're suffering as a community because we're not having ordinances followed, and it's affecting people in the community, and they're crying out about it, but nothing's being done. And I feel like that would help our community out and make it what it's supposed to be.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Just to clarify, as far as the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department, they enforce the Ohio Revised Code.
That's what I'm saying. Our ordinances, it's not their, I know it's not technically their job to enforce it, but I feel like having the police department to be able to enforce those would really help out the community and make it what it's supposed to be, instead of people constantly worrying about something happening to their property or their animals being harmed because other people's animals are running free and hurting other people's animals. I feel like we need that to be able to enforce those, make it better community.
And understand too, sir, and I know our attorney will talk more, that this is such a small footprint of a police force that this council has considered. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to get to everything, so I don't want to give the.
No, not everything, just the main things. I feel like, that's what we need.
Yeah, I just don't want to give the impression that that's gonna fix everything.
No, it's not gonna fix everything. I mean, I know that we have still plenty of things that need to be fixed, but it's gonna take time, but it's definitely a right step forward to fixing things that need to be fixed.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Mayor, I did want to make comments, but I also wanted to know, will there be a time to actually ask questions as well as make comments, or do we not have?
Well, let me consult with our attorney. She wants to know whether or not there's gonna be a time that they can ask questions and have their questions answered. Quick reading. Can't do it in the second reading. We can do it. Are the questions related specifically to?
Absolutely, they are.
If they're specific to the ordinance, that they can ask questions? Yes. All right, very good.
I'm Carrie Savard. I've been a resident for over 30 years. And I was against the abolishment of the police force prior, and I am for it, as well as my husband being reinstated in some fashion. I personally can vouch for living on the street I live on. We have major speeding issue. My home or my property's been hit 4 times by people coming around a curve and literally going too fast. We witnessed just over the last year an intoxication situation where a person missed the curve, hit a telephone pole, and walked off from the accident. And just 3 months ago, we saw another person do almost the exact same thing. They missed the pole, but they went out on State Road and didn't stop. It's dangerous. If you have children out in your front yard, let's face it, someone could be hit and killed. So this is something that we talked about, even in the neighborhoods, the speed bump strips, if we can't enforce the speeding, right? I mean, we see Hamilton County come out and actually do some driving through the neighborhoods, but we have never seen anyone stop on our street for speeding. The other thing is the noise situation is pretty out of control till 1 to sometimes 3 in the morning, sometimes it starts back up at 5. These are issues that we're hoping as a community those things could be addressed, whether they are, whether they're not. I did check all the ordinances. I didn't really see anything that was a noise ordinance that says after such and such hours, you can't do some of these things. So anyway, these are very important issues. One of the things that I think is very important is the pro and con of having our own marshal versus sheriff. I have called the sheriffs to my home before, to be honest. Never called the police in my life, but I did call them once in the last year. And what I found was they were more willing to be a mediator than they were to actually take what I felt was some sort of action, right? Cite someone, even if that would have been me or my husband. I didn't feel that was why they were there. I felt they were there to respond to the 911 call, and we kind of go, okay, well, this really is in our domain. We can't really deal with this. Wasn't really sure if the marshal is able to enforce civil and criminal law. That would be my hope. Wasn't sure how that was going to work. Those are some of the questions that I had. Is this an appointed or an elected position? Will the person interview for the job, or will we utilize resources, human resources that we already have on staff? Those were kind of my questions.
I can answer the first question.
Right.
By the Ohio Revised Code. The person who is our marshal, but he is an administrative head. Okay. Justin Havey is our village administrator. We're fortunate that he is an experienced police officer. And what he can enforce and what he can't enforce, I'll leave that to Bob and to Justin. I don't know if they can do civil or not. That's not in my area.
Most of the civil ordinances, property issue, like that. We have zoning enforcement to issue those. The police department will effectively deal with criminal ordinance, advise the criminal, and some of the things that seem civil in some places, communities councils have voted those to be criminally codified, so that they become a minor misdemeanor, like a traffic ticket or something like that. That the police department would be more engaged in that side of it. The same things that community police officers do. I mean, yes, you will get people to show up and mediate something that doesn't go the direction of citing somebody or doing any of that. But it will complement what the sheriff's office is doing by the revised code. And when you brought up noise ordinances, so Cleves, a lot of places have noise ordinances. The sheriff's office won't do ordinances, but if you're in a township, you'll see them enforcing noise ordinances. But they're based on resolutions passed by the township that they're in through 50517 of the Ohio Revised Code. So it's an avenue for unincorporated areas to have something. But
one thing I'd add is, if you look at the code of ordinances, there's a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing process with our code of ordinances. So the biggest part was to go through the last 20 plus years, gather all of our ordinances and legislation that been passed. We gave it to American Legal Publishing. They went through, gave a draft copy. Rob and I worked nauseam to go through and approve that so it could be published, but also outline where the gaps are. Noise ordinance is one. So each council meeting, we're placing new ordinances on the agenda to close those gaps, whether that's tall grass or loud noise. Your points.
To your point, it is a far cry from where we were. So congratulations to you all, because it is a very onerous task to do this, and it's huge. I mean, anyone who's lived here for a long time knows that to be true. And even in rereading them all today, it's amazing what's happened just in the last 8, 9 months to 12 months. So I applaud you all for taking it all seriously, honestly. It feels like these moves are something that, as other residents have said, are going to help our safety in our community. So, more power to this. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to make any comments?
I would like to say that I would support moving the noise ordinance toward the top of the list for consideration, because I do think it is important and it hits the quality of life of our residents.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much in that, 'cause it's not up to the agenda.
Okay, that's fine.
Anyone else in the audience wants to speak? So I want to thank everybody for coming forward today. It's not always easy, but it is helpful to our community and to our council, for our council to hear what people have to say. So we're ready to move on now